the fighter deep.
I mean, my goodness. My goodness. My goodness. Look at it. They shouldn't have let him stand up.
No, put him sitting.
Welcome to the Octagon channel. Today we're going to bring you news from the world of MMA, boxing, and WWE. And here we go. UFC President Dana White has responded to the question of whether he will reschedule the UFC 311 tournament due to the fires that have engulfed the Los Angeles suburbs. If the fires get worse, we will go to Las Vegas. We will move the tournament there. But we'll only do that if the situation is really bad. Right now, everything is going according to plan, and no changes are expected. Bloody Elbow quoted White as saying. Undefeated former UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov, who now trains reigning divisional champion Islam Makhachev, as well as UFC lightweight title challenger Umar Nurmagomedov and Tagir Ulanbekov, discussed the excitement of the UFC 311 tournament, featuring 3 of his charges in an interview on ESPN MMA's YouTube channel. The journalist asked, "How are you going to feel during UFC 311? Khabib replied, "It's going to be a tough night because all 3 opponents are very competitive fighters. You know, Tager's opponent Clayton Carpenter, Merab Dvalishvili, Arman Tsarukyan are very high-level fighters. The main event of UFC 311 will be a rematch between Islam Makhachev and Arman Tsarukyan for the UFC Lightweight Championship. In the co-main event of the show, Umar Nurmagomedov will challenge current lightweight title holder Merab Dvalishvili." Khabib Nurmagomedov also talked about how difficult it is to maintain the level of performance that he, Umar Nurmagomedov, and Islam Makhachev have. The 3 of them have had 92 fights, suffering only 1 defeat in them. I can describe it in one word: sacrifice. People talk about discipline, but sometimes it's not enough. A few days ago, we had a guy from Mexico training with us. We let him come even though we don't usually invite anyone. We have enough sparring partners. We don't need anybody, we have 30 killers in the gym. He comes up to me and says, "I want to go to Mexico for the holidays." I say, "Brother, your whole family in Mexico should be waiting for you if you want to be the best in the world. You have to be here. If you want to be the best, family's out of the question. If you want to spend time with your family, fine. You'll be the best family, man." I'm not against people like that. You just have to make sacrifices if you want to be the best at what you do. Sacrifice your time, your health, all the good things you have. I don't know any other way. I've been in this game not only as a coach, but as a fighter. And when people try to give me excuses, I realize that this guy is going to be a regular fighter like thousands of others. He'll make money, he'll be good, but he'll never be a champion. You can say whatever you want, but I know this game. We sacrifice our whole lives to be the best in the world, said Khabib Nurmagomedov in an interview on ESPN MMA's YouTube channel. Khabib shared how much his view of his father's work changed after becoming a trainer himself. "Did the view of my father's work change after I became a trainer? No. When I became a coach, I started to understand how he felt. It's a great responsibility. You have to be in balance. You have to let the guys rest or push them. Sometimes it doesn't work because some fighters never complain, they train, they go until they die, they don't know the limit. That's why they need a trainer. My training? I'll be ready by January 18th. I need to be in good shape to give my fighters confidence," Khabib said. Legendary UFC referee and current big commentator and analyst John McCarthy commented on Khabib Nurmagomedov's removal from a flight to the United States. "Khabib deserves an apology from the airline. The guy speaks good English and is more than trained to sit by the emergency exit in case of an emergency. Someone definitely screwed up in that situation. And it wasn't Eagle," McCarthy wrote on social media. Recall Nurmagomedov, who was sitting at the emergency exit, refused to move to another seat at the request of the flight attendant, after which he was forced to leave the plane. The words of the athlete: "The woman who approached me with questions behaved rudely from the beginning. And although I speak English quite well, understood everything and was ready to help, she still insisted on moving me from my seat. I don't know what her reasons were, racial, national, or whatever, but after 2 minutes of talking, she called security and I was escorted off the plane. An hour and a half later, I got on another plane and went where I needed to go. The video shows that I tried my best to be calm and polite. but the airline staff should be more polite to the customers. The UFC has a lot of strong prospects who are popular with the fans. The undefeated fighters in the league get the most attention. The league's rising star, Shara Bullet, has never known the bitterness of defeat. The spectacular prospect is steadily moving to the top of the middleweight division. The Russian's record stands at 19 wins, most of them by knockout. Movsar Yevloyev still has 0 losses in the featherweight division. Although the fighter is often criticized for his lack of spectacle, he has never lost in 19 fights. Of course, we can't forget about Khamzat Chimaev. Most of the victories were easy for Boers. Even against former champion Robert Whittaker, the Chechen defeated him in a dominant manner in the first round. The win over the Australian was the 14th of the prospect's career. Umar Nurmagomedov is preparing to become a champion and remain undefeated. The Russian has a record of 18 wins. A title fight with Merab Dvalishvili awaits him soon, and most experts believe that the challenger will never know the bitterness of defeat. Shavkat Rakhmonov had a perfect record of 18 early victories. Despite losing a unique record of finishes, Nomad remained an undefeated fighter. The Kazakh will face Belal Muhammad for the title. A win would make Rakhmonov the first UFC champion from Kazakhstan. The only undefeated champion in the division is Ilia Topuria. The Spanish fighter of Georgian descent passes his opponents with particular ease. On the account of El Matador, 16 confident victories. Topuria has already cleaned up the welterweight division, and the lack of competition has made him think about moving to another division. Former world heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, who announced his retirement from boxing on his social media page today, January 13th, has done so for the 3rd time in his career. Previously, Fury had retired from boxing several times. First, in 2016, he retired from boxing after defeating former world champion Vladimir Klitschko by unanimous decision of the judges and testing positive for cocaine sometime after that fight. In 2022, he again announced the end of his career after defeating fellow countryman Dillian White, believing he had no competition left after winning a trilogy with Deontay Wilder. The last 2 fights of Fury's career were against Ukrainian Oleksandr Usyk. First, he lost to him by split decision in May 2024, and then again by unanimous decision in December of the same year. Former absolute world champion in the first welterweight, Kostya Tszyu, commented on the news that the Briton Tyson Fury decided to end his boxing career. Tyson Fury has no more motivation to perform. I support him in his decision to end his career, because without motivation, there is no point in performing, Tszyu said. American boxer Ryan Garcia said that he is ready to hold a rematch with his compatriot Devina Haynie, but under a number of conditions. On April 20th last year, Garcia scored his biggest career victory over world champion in 2 weight classes Haynie, but due to a positive doping sample of Garcia, the result of the fight was overturned and the boxer was disqualified for a year. Haynie's reputation was damaged, and they seized on the positive sample and even filed a lawsuit against Garcia based on it. The only way Haynie can earn respect is to face me again and try to perform better. I'm definitely interested in a rematch, but a lot of things have to go my way. First of all, if he wants to discuss a rematch, he has to drop the lawsuit, Garcia told Seconds Out at the Ring's annual award show. In addition, Garcia has developed a strong distrust of the anti-doping agency, VADA. We are not going to use VADA, Garcia added. I'm going to use whoever I want to use because Bill Haney keeps pushing for VADA. To me, that's weird. Why can't I use USADA or somebody else? It's suspicious to me that they love VADA and VADA loves them. It's weird. It was my best win and it was taken away from me. I don't like it and I will never use VADA again. All my samples were negative all the time, and as soon as I beat him, they found a positive. I know for a fact that I have never used steroids in my life. I will maintain that until the day I die. I'm ready to fight him. I've already fought him and won, Garcia concluded. UBA lightweight world champion American Jervonta Davis reacted strongly to not being invited to the Ring magazine's gala dinner in London, which was attended by a number of notable champions and personalities from the world of professional boxing. Why don't they invite everybody, just the people they work with? Go to hell, all of you. Haven't we had enough of this? Look at that little rat Eddie who thought he'd come up with something new. That's it. Now all that's left is to tell everyone to fight among themselves since they have such a huge group of fighters, Jervonta wrote on his social media page. Recall that recently the new owner of the authoritative magazine, The Ring, published since 1922, became the chairman of the General Entertainment Authority of Saudi Arabia, Turki al-Sheikh.